it's Tiffany and Noah with Easy Toddler Hairstyles, and somebody's kind of playing the shy card today. That's okay, because you can see her beautiful Dutch braid. So today I'm doing a Dutch braid tutorial for you, and I'm actually going to be focusing on showing you how to hold the braid. So this tutorial is going to go step by step and in depth on how you hold a Dutch braid. So once you learn to hold it, it just takes a lot of practice and time. We're going to go ahead and get started now. So the first thing that I do when I start a Dutch braid is I wet down the hair a little bit, and I also use a little bit of leave-in conditioner. You can also use some spray gel if you want. Damp hair is easier for me to work with. And then I make sure that it is completely combed out. You want it completely free of any tangles. If it's got any sort of tangles or you're fighting with the hair, then you're not going to get a smooth Dutch braid. So the first thing that you want to do is grab a small section up front. It's about 2 inches right in the middle, and you are going to split it into 3 different pieces. Now, when I first filmed this tutorial, I did it holding the braid 2 different ways to give you options, but I feel like that's more confusing than anything. So I'm just going to show you in depth the way that I'm most comfortable holding the braid. So I'm going to bring my right hand so that my thumb is towards my chest, and we are going to bring the left strand all the way under, and I am going to grab the 2 left strands with my first, second, and third finger. See how I bring that far strand under? And then I grab both those strands with my first, second, and third finger. At this point, after you've grabbed them, we are going to take a strand of hair and simply add it to the strand in between my first and second finger. Now, I'm going to show you this over and over and from many different angles so that it's easier to understand. From here, I'm going to grab the top strand that's in between my second and third finger. I'm going to grab that with my left hand, and then I'm going to rotate my right hand to bring this right strand under and grab those 2 strands with my first, second, and third finger, just like I did on the other side. So the strand that came under is being held by my first and second finger. After I put the strand under, I am going to add a little bit of hair and then grab the top strand again with my right hand. I'm going to rotate my left hand under and bring the left strand under, and again grab those 3 strands with my first, second, and third fingers. Now you want to make sure that you're smoothing the hair as you go. It will make a lot neater braid. Once I brought that under, I am going to add a strand of hair, and then again I'm going to grab this top strand with my left, rotate the right hand under, and then grab those 2 strands with my first, second, and third finger. And then add some hair to the strand that I'm holding with my first and second finger. Rotate my left hand around, grab with my first, second, and third on the right. So it's really just a process. If you need to go through and watch this a few times, you can. I wanted to add that the first couple times that you bring the hair under right at the first of the braid, you don't add hair. You start adding hair the 3rd time that you bring hair under. I hope that makes sense. So I'm showing you kind of from a back angle now. I'm also going to be showing you kind of from a front and a side angle. But I've sped it up just a little bit so that the whole video isn't super slow. So first and second finger, adding the hair, and then rotating it around with my hand. If you're new to Dutch braiding, I would suggest setting up an iPad or your phone and then doing as I do so you can get the hang of it. So here's from a top view. I'm going to again show you how to hold it. I've grabbed a small section right up front, and I am going to split it into 3. Now the first time that you cross the strand under on both sides, you're not going to add hair like I mentioned before. So there is the first time we crossed it under, or the first stitch, and here is the second stitch. So I'm just going to rotate my hand, grab with first, second, and third finger, and from here I'm going to start adding hair. And you always add hair to that strand that you just crossed under, and it's always going to be the strand that your thumb and pointer finger are holding. So rotate around first, second, and third. Now, if you've got a daughter that's fairly young, I would also suggest maybe investing in a hair dummy. They're really great to practice on, and you can get them pretty inexpensively, like $15 to $20. So again, I'm always grabbing the top strand with the opposite hand, rotating the other hand around to bring the strand under, and grabbing with the first, second, and third. I'm just going to show you quickly from a side view. So you can see my first, second, and third finger from the side to see exactly how I grab onto it. So I'm grabbing the top strand with my right hand at this point. I'm rotating my left hand around, and then I'm grabbing the other two strands with my first, second, and third finger, smoothing as I go, and adding hair to the strand that's between my first and second finger. Now remember that this is a learning process. You keep going down the hair until you run out of hair to add, and then you just continue as a 3-strand braid. I hope that this tutorial was helpful in showing you how to hold a Dutch braid. Here is our finished look for a single Dutch braid. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe. We'll see you next week.